stop. Whatever you're doing right now, stop. Because 11 members of the United States Congress just sent an official letter to the WNBA Commissioner about Caitlin Clark. Not about laws, not about taxes, not about war, about a basketball player getting hit too many times. Let that sink in. Congress, Capitol Hill, federal lawmakers, writing an official government letter demanding accountability from a women's basketball league. The letter calls Clark the face of the league. It lists hip checks, eye pokes, and a fist to the throat as evidence of, quote, unnecessary physical hostility and violence. It says they're concerned the attacks may be racially motivated, and it demands the commissioner respond with a plan. Meanwhile, Candace Parker, one of the greatest players in NBA history, went on her podcast today and said, "You've got some insecurities if you're putting Caitlin Clark as the 11th best guard. Y'all need to go to a therapist." And Clark herself? She came back from a back injury last night. Her first game in 12 days, scored 9 points in 16 minutes and lost to the Los Angeles Sparks 106-92. In one single day, Congress, Candace Parker, a loss and a return. This is not a basketball story anymore. This is something much bigger. To understand how we got here, we need to go back to June 24th. Because that's the day everything changed. Indiana Fever versus Phoenix Mercury. Caitlin Clark goes up for a play, falls to the floor, and Alyssa Thomas presses her fist directly into Clark's throat. No call from refs. Clark grabs her neck and back. Plays through it. Fever lose. The league reviews it overnight. Gives Thomas a flagrant 2 and a 1-game suspension. And then the internet exploded. Thomas started receiving death threats, racist messages, targeted harassment. And Clark, who has spent her entire career trying to avoid controversy, stood at a microphone and said, "The harassment, the hate, none of that is okay. That goes for the opposing team, my teammates, my coaches. There should never be a question of character." She defended the woman who put her fist in her throat, and it still wasn't enough to stop what came next. Jump to July 8th, yesterday. 11 Republican lawmakers, led by U.S. Representative August Pfluger of Texas, send an official letter to WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. The letter is 3 pages long. It lists specific incidents of physical contact against Clark: hip checks, eye pokes, the throat foul. It calls Clark the, quote, face of your league. It credits her with driving fan interest, television ratings, and corporate sponsorship to record highs. And then it says something that nobody expected. It expresses concern that the attacks against Clark, quote, may be racially motivated. The Fever organization responded immediately. They said, "Our organization nor Caitlin has had any interaction with anyone in this congressional group. We were unaware of their letter. We have been clear about player safety. We will continue to stick up for our team." Translation: the Fever didn't ask for this. Congress stepped in on their own. A women's basketball league. A government letter. A racial motivation claim. This is unprecedented in WNBA history. And then there's the All-Star voting scandal that is still burning. WNBA players voted Caitlin Clark the 11th best guard in the league. 11th, out of the guards on the ballot. She's averaging 21.2 points, 8.2 assists, and 4 rebounds per game. She's 3rd in the entire NBA in scoring. She made the All-Star starting lineup because fans voted her 2nd overall and media voted her 3rd. Without fans, she doesn't make it. Candace Parker went on her podcast today, the Post Moves show with Aaliyah Boston, and absolutely lost it. She said, and I'm quoting directly, "It's also kinda crazy. I wholeheartedly believe there need to be some rules with the WNBA players, because this is getting out of hand. Caitlin Clark voted 11th best guard by WNBA players, that's crazy. You've got some insecurities if you're sitting down and putting Caitlin Clark as the 11th best guard. Y'all need to go to a therapist." One of the greatest players in WNBA history, telling active players to go to therapy because of how they voted on a survey. The league is at war with itself. Here's the full picture, and it is one of the most insane situations in the history of professional sports. Clark entered the WNBA in 2024. Since then, attendance up 48%. TV ratings at all-time highs. Every Fever game sold out. jersey sales passing LeBron James. Nike gave her a $28 million deal and just released her signature shoe, the Caitlin 1. And yet the same league that benefits from everything she brings has left her off their anniversary poster. Watched her get hit without calling fouls, given her technical fouls for clapping. Watched her peers rank her 11th out of spite, and now has Congress writing letters on her behalf. The Ringer Sirat Sohi put it perfectly. Caitlin Clark is a magnifying glass to a lot of issues that have been plaguing the WNBA for a long time. A lot of mainstream sports fans are just now finding out about things that have bothered players for quite a while. And Clark? She just wants to play basketball. She said it herself, there are times that it is hard. And there are times that it probably affects me a little bit more than I do put on. She came back last night after 12 days out, scored 9 points, lost by 14, and will play again tomorrow against the same Mercury team where Alyssa Thomas hit her in the throat. That game tomorrow night might be the most watched WNBA regular season game in history. Congress is involved. Candace Parker is calling out her peers. Clark came back and lost, and tomorrow she faces the same team that put a fist to her throat. This is the most controversial season in WNBA history, and it's not even close. Subscribe. Drop a comment. Do you think Congress should be involved in this? Let me know below.